Hey everybody, welcome back. I have just returned to dry land after my first non-working trip aboard the Disney Wish. And while I was aboard, I spent a lot of time doing one of my favorite Disney pastimes, which is looking for hidden details and all the stuff that people miss. I have been looking forward to sharing this video with you because, to me, it's the little extras both on Disney Cruise Line and in the parks that truly set Disney vacations apart. They enrich your experience, and I think they're one of the reasons why fans like myself can't help but keep coming back. And they're also why we get even homesick for Disney because they signify meaning. There is a purpose behind why all these little things are there, and I think that speaks to everybody. It's not just story and character that we crave, it's purpose. And of course, there are little rewards for those like myself who take the time to look for them. So I rounded up over 30 things that maybe you didn't know were aboard the Disney Wish, ranging from how the ship is laid out like Cinderella Castle in Fantasyland, to several Marvel Studios Easter eggs, to bonus Disney character statues. And I'm going to expound on most of them, but then finish the video with a rapid fire list of some others. So with that being said, let's get started, beginning with number 1, Disneyland's Avengers campus aboard the Disney Wish. So on deck 2 and along the wall of the Oceaneer Club, which is the kids club, you'll see stylized artwork of It's a Small World, the Disney Wish itself, Frozen, Alice, Star Wars Cargo Bay. But what's interesting is the Marvel characters and the locations are actually referencing Disney California Adventures Avengers campus. And this is evidenced by the Quinjet and the Web Slinger Spider-Man Adventure ride building, complete with Spidey swinging from the rooftops just like he does at the park. There's also a Wakanda and Shuri's lab, and since we know future Avengers campus experiences for Disneyland include a visit to Wakanda, I can't help but wonder if this is a little bit of a preview, a little bit of foreshadowing. Number 2, references to the construction of the Disney Wish. So after the Disney Wish set sail in 2022, National Geographic, which is also owned by Disney, released a documentary called Making the Disney Wish. And it spotlighted a number of Imagineers, how they dealt with the pandemic and its delays, and their race against the clock to get the wish done in time. It's truly fantastic, very compelling, and a real behind-the-scenes look at Disney Cruise Line. And in the Grand Atrium on the Wish today, fans can find items from that documentary, including the wooden ship model the dock used to show how the ship is divided and constructed section by section. Number 3, bonus statues. All Disney Cruise Line ships have a signature statue in the atrium, and the Wish has Cinderella, along with a little Lucifer waiting to capture Gus and Jacques under a teacup. But did you know that there are 2 additional statues on board? The first can be found just below the atrium on deck 2 and on the base of the staircase for the Oceaneers Kids Club, and it's the Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland. Technically, this means the Wish has 2 cat statues. A weird stat, but there it is. The second statue, however, can be found on deck 4 at the Wishing Star Cafe, and it's Jiminy Cricket. And he is a fitting addition since this is the Disney Wish, and he's saying when you wish upon a star. Number 4, a Pixar short inspired a splash zone. So themed areas aboard Disney Cruise Line ships, as well as areas in the Disney parks themselves, are typically inspired by movies. But on the Disney Wish, Imagineers created a whole space based on a Pixar short, specifically the fan favorite and my personal favorite Toy Story short called Partysaurus Rex. There are also some other really great references in this family-friendly area, including vintage Woody's Roundup toys from Toy Story 2, and you may find a couple other little details as well. Number 5, a Moana-themed Cove Cafe. Unlike other major cruise lines who have Starbucks on board, Disney Cruise Line has Cove Cafes. And while regular cruisers really dislike the Disney Wishes Cove Cafe location, and I get it, it's very removed at the very back of the ship, it's hard to get to, but I personally love it because I like my morning walk to my at sea coffee shop, and its interior design is my favorite because it's themed after Moana. And a number of items are on display referencing her and her story. And if you've ever wanted to know how to decorate your home in the style of a Disney princess, but that still looks adult and stylish, this is it. Number 6, the carpets. Just like the classic Disney Cruise Line ships, the Disney Wishes many carpets are themed and filled with references, and they also help give you directions. The color of the carpets tell you whether you're in the forward part of the ship or in the aft, which is super handy. And the colors tell you where you're at as well. The blue tells you that you're in the royal castle-esque area of the ship, while the green tells you're in the fairy tale garden areas of the ship. Also, as is tradition, the star designs in the carpet always point forward in case you get turned around, and your own shoe may even step on Cinderella's glass slipper. Lastly, you should notice that the carpets reference various films and characters represented on board, including Cinderella, Peter Pan, and Sleeping Beauty. Number 7, Oceaneer Club details. Because there are an embarrassment of riches in terms of Disney details and Easter eggs in the Oceaneers Club, I'm going to group them all together for the sake of this vlog, and I'm starting with the Tangled Arts and Crafts space because it is filled with Rapunzel's artwork containing all kinds of little hidden gems and references. There's also her frying pan, her weapon of choice, a hidden Pascal, even a chart that tracked her growth. Also, since Beauty and the Beast is my favorite Disney movie, of course, I had to reference this room. The fireplace will actually simulate a fake fire from time to time, and some of the books in the bookshelves contain nods to other Disney movies like Mulan and Aladdin. And this cabinet contains household items that may remind you of some familiar Beauty and the Beast characters. Heading into the Frozen room, this space really reminds me of Epcot with all of the Norwegian references, but you'll also find a handmade hidden Olaf and a little jar of chocolate because that's Anna's favorite. Over in Star Wars Cargo Bay, many of the creatures featured are the same that you'll find in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, with the exception of the porg, and eagle-eyed adults may notice a few more subtle Star Wars references. Over at Superhero Academy, there are a lot of details, but my favorites are those referencing Ant-Man, because he is the star of the Worlds of Marvel restaurant on board the Disney Wish. In fact, this part of the Kids Club actually helps to tell the story of Worlds of Marvel because it provides some additional context. And my all-time favorite, the trophy from Ant-Man 2, which reads World's Greatest Grandma. If you know, you know. Finally, if you're a Disney animation fan, you will appreciate the walls of the club because they're covered with character sketches, and it's really fun to find your favorites. Number 8, the Bayou details. When the Disney Wish first set sail, some fans complained about how out in the open this Princess and the Frog Lounge is because it's surrounded by the gift shops, Hyperspace Lounge, and guests going to the theater. But personally, I like it. It's kind of the eye of the storm. And a lot of lounges on Disney ships are tucked away and you feel like you're intruding if you want to explore. That's not the case with this one. But apart from the obvious Bayou-inspired theming, there are a ton of little details in here, from the Magnolia light fixture to the Mama Odie glass bottles above the bar. There's also a little statuette of Tiana as a frog and Prince Naveen. And you'll find some gorgeous water lily accents and a few other frogs as well. Number 9, Pluto's Corner. On Deck 5 forward, on the port side, there is a pet relief area for guests with service animals appropriately named for Pluto, but it's also a reference to Pluto's Corner at the Disney Studios lot in Burbank, California. Number 10, the Bow. The Disney Wish is unique in that it allows guests to access the bow. This is a first for a Disney Cruise Line ship. Number 11, light fixtures. Just like the carpets aboard Disney Cruise Line, the light fixtures have hidden details as well, and they vary depending where you are on the ship. I think my favorites are the Cinderella themed fixtures and sconces. For instance, one deck had fixtures showing Cinderella's pumpkins, another a needle and thread for the pink dress that the mice made for her. Number 12, a kiss goodnight. In regard to light fixtures, the Wish's most famous is its signature chandelier, which is inspired by the swirl of magic that transforms Cinderella's rags into her signature dress. This was one of Walt Disney's favorite animation moments ever, by the way. And unlike the classic Disney Cruise Line ships, the Wish's chandelier is designed with special lighting effects. There is a special red overlay with a Peter Pan twist on Pirate Night, but on other nights, there are what's called the Kiss Good Nights. And at midnight, as well as other times throughout the evening, you'll hear the bells chime and Cinderella say that it's midnight, or she may sing This Is Love while magic illuminates the atrium. Number 13, the Disney Wish is like Fantasyland. The Disney Wish is meant to be Disney Cruise Line's castle at sea. And just like a castle at a Disney park, there are a few familiar Fantasyland landmarks. For instance, at the Magic Kingdom and right behind Cinderella Castle, there is a shop called Sir Mickey's where shoppers will notice Willie the Giant from Mickey and the Beanstalk lifting up the roof to peek inside. In keeping with this, you can also find Willie in an enchanted 3D picture just down the corridor from the atrium, and a hidden Disney Wish will make an appearance if you're looking for it. In keeping with how the Wish is like Fantasyland, on Deck 5 and in view of the castle-like atrium, there is the Enchanted Sword Cafe inspired by the sword and the stone. And if you've been to a Disney park, no doubt you know that a sword in the stone photo op is always right by the castle. With the Wish being a castle, it's appropriately decorated as such. And with Cinderella being one of the primary themes, you're going to find castle tapestries showing different moments from her story. Next detail is themed flatware. In every restaurant, the details extend right down to the dishes. For instance, at Arendelle, there are profiles of Anna and Elsa on the icy blue and white plates. At 1923, the plates bear the restaurant's logo. And at Worlds of Marvel, there's the Avengers logo, which is even on the silverware and hidden within the pattern on the napkins. The elevators. Two things are true about Disney Cruise Line elevators. For one, there's never enough, and two, they're always themed. On the Wish, guests with an eye for detail will notice the paper is hiding various Disney characters and icons. Number 19, another Cheshire Cat. On Deck 4, there are two separate theaters or cinema, one of which is called the Wonderland Cinema and is inspired by Alice in Wonderland. Guests entering the theater are likely to find the Cheshire Cat leading the way into the dark theater and in his signature glowing way. Number 20, A Flight to Neverland. The other theater is called the Neverland Cinema, and it has the markings of a compass at its entrance, and the tile floor below reads, "Here we go," which is exactly what Peter Pan says before taking the darling children to Neverland, both in the film and on Peter Pan's flight. There's also a second star to the right there as well. In addition, the walls have a glowing Tinkerbell who leads the way, and the film's characters are flying just under your feet. Number 21, Miracles from Molecules. One of the coolest Easter eggs for Disney history buffs is in the opening of the Quantum Encounter show at the Worlds of Marvel restaurant. And we actually have Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige to thank for this one. So, at the Worlds of Marvel restaurant, the presentation you're attending is called Miracles from Molecules. And you actually hear the refrain of a little song right before the show starts. Well, Miracles from Molecules was actually the theme song of Disneyland's now defunct Adventure Through Inner Space attraction, and it was written by the famous Sherman Brothers, and Kevin Feige actually suggested using it. The Wish is a museum. This is true of other Disney Cruise Line ships, but it's something we don't talk enough about. The hallways and stairwells of all Disney Cruise Line ships are decorated with dozens upon dozens of concept art, character sketches, and even background designs from Disney animated films throughout the company's entire history. And many pieces are available for guests to purchase, several of which are unique to the Disney Wish. But something else original to the Wish is 1923, a restaurant that's basically a blend between the Hollywood Brown Derby and the Disney Archives because you're dining by even more concept art, design test, color swatches, and props. It's basically an animation fan and Disney history buff's dream. This tradition of Disney artwork and history continues in Marceline Market, but in a different way. Named after Walt Disney's hometown of Marceline, Missouri, and one of the inspirations for Main Street USA, Marceline Market is the Disney Wishes buffet and is divided into themed sections, kind of like a park, each reflecting a Disney movie or character but in a modern farmhouse kind of style. And here you will find cases and shelves, kind of like 1923, reflecting the movie theme of each designated area. All right, to finish up my roundup of Easter egg secrets and other details aboard the Disney Wish, here are some rapid fire references, beginning with Mickey hands on a clock, very much like the famous Mickey Mouse watches, a real life Finding Nemo reference, a hidden Lumiere hanging outside the rose, a Snow White wishing well mirror, the magic flower from Tangled, paintings from Frozen hanging in the hallway leading into the Arendelle restaurant, a hidden pirate sword and the Tick-Tock Croc at Hook's Barbery, and character expired signage. So that's it. That's more than 30 secrets and details hidden aboard the Disney Wish, and the thing is, there are so many more I didn't even get to. But if you're still here, if you hung with me throughout this long list, thank you so much, and if you would, please give this video a like and consider subscribing to this channel. I'm a travel and entertainment reporter who covers the Disney parks and Disney Cruise Line, and when I'm not breaking down news, I love to share my own travel adventures and also things like this. But regardless, thank you so much for watching today, and I hope you have a magical day.